Oh no! Hold on.
What?
No, god dang it. There. Welcome to MangaPod, everybody. Hi. I'm Erin.
Hi. Welcome.
Erin.
Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
No, it's
welcome.
okay because it's all working beautiful now.
Yeah, it's working great. Everybody can see each other. Listen, you probably accidentally saw our chat pop up, and what you saw was just a bunch of calls started and then calls dropped in duration. Yeah, that's happened like 17 times tonight because Skype won't let everybody see each other's pretty faces, and it's really, really sad. But now everybody can see each other, and it's really great. Welcome to MangaPod. I'm Erin, HappiLeeErin, your host. If you never joined us before, we're a weekly podcast in which we can read all the part of manga and discuss the friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. Erin of HappiLeeErin, with me, three lovely co-hosts, as well as a very special guest. Once again, Yokurama is still on a hiatus with family emergency stuff, and we send him all of the love. But we will go around the circle and end with our very special guest, who is a very familiar face, but he's just as welcome here always at the time.
I really wanted you to say I'm Erin of HappiLeeErin just one more time.
I was going to, but I felt like everyone was waiting for it, and so I was like, no.
just gonna hold it in, put it in my pocket. Hi everybody, I'm Dodger of Press Heart to Continue. And right before we went live, I accidentally insulted Erin really bad, and I don't think our friendship will ever be the same.
It was real bad. Do you want to tell them?
I don't even remember what you said. I don't even remember what you said.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't really remember what I said, but I said
Erin
something, and everybody kind of laughed, and then Dodger laughed, and then, but it was like a way bigger laugh than was necessary for what I had said. And so I was like, yeah, what happened? And she goes, no, I laughed at you, but then I saw something that was actually funny.
And now we're not friends. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say it like that.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, hi. I'm delighted to be here and talk about Cross Game. So,
Yeah, well,
hi. Yeah, it's good to have you.
it's really nice to have you here.
What's up, ladies and gents? My name is Lynn. I'm from Cinema, the Winway Anime Reviews, and I am also very looking forward to talking about Cross Game. And yeah, special guest, good friend of mine. So be nice, guys. He's awesome.
His favorite manga is Pokemon.
Yes, it is.
It
Pokekids.
is.
The lie is real. I'm Bill. I've been here before. I'm from YouTube. That's it, I think.
Yeah, perfect.
I do stuff on here.
I'm from
sometimes.
YouTube.
And Cross Game is my favorite anime, so I'm probably biased.
Wait, like it's actually your favorite anime? This isn't like the Pokemon real life.
No, yeah, this is real. I can
Gotcha.
look straight into my lens and say that Cross Game is my favorite anime.
Sick.
For real.
Yeah.
Sick.
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 Yes, we read Cross Game this week, which is continuing our March Madness Sports Month, March Madness MangaPod Sports Month. Woo! Because we're super hip and in the know with all of the athletics.
We've made some bad choices, guys.
Yeah.
We've made some bad choices about where to stop.
which is
on
not my
both.
fault. I knew
Not my
nothing
fault
about this
either.
manga going in, except that it was like Bill's favorite, and that is really great. That's all I knew. People have told me it's great. So I was like, okay, we'll read it. And then there was a really bad stopping point picked. But I refuse to blame myself.
Gotta blame you.
Blaming Yoku.
I'll take blame. No. Well, yeah, Yoku's fault, but my fault also for like pushing.
Oh, this is
no,
your
I'm
chance. This is your chance to just be
I'm
like,
gonna take
I don't
ownership
know.
on this. You need to hear me out on this because I'm the one that pointed out the funky numbering in the chapters. I'm like, no, let's read up to volume 4.
Yes.
True.
So
True.
it is my fault because if we would have just read the 30 chapters,
But 30
Good
would have been
stopping.
way too short. It would have only been like,
That's true.
God, they go by so fast.
yeah, it would have been like 1.5 volumes or something like that. 2 volumes maybe. Which is not enough. Not enough of such a great story as Cross Game. Though what we picked
4
was
volumes
really not
wasn't
enough
enough.
either.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we read 4 volumes this week. If you've never joined us for MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description, aka a summary of the manga that we read, and then we'll give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time reading the manga or not. And then after we do that, we will jump into our spoiler section. Please, 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 no spoilers about the manga or anything up until we go into the spoiler section, because people who have not read the manga may be waiting to hear our spoiler-free recommendations, and then they will take their leave. So please refrain from spoilers until we get to the spoilers section. And also, no spoilers for anything past what we read in the manga. So no spoilers for the anime, and no spoilers for past volume 4 of the manga. So we do not have timeout stuff in YouTube chat. There is only banned, so you will get a warning, and then you will get banned if you continue to spoil things. Even if you continue to, like, fake spoil stuff, don't fake stuff. We may not know that it's a joke. We'll just give you a warning and ban you anyway, because that's what rotten bacon butts do. So don't be a rotten bacon butt. Bill, would you read us a lovely description, please?
Absolutely. Ko Kitamura is a 5th grader whose family runs a sporting goods store. One of the regular... I'm going like vacation narration, like where you go to like museum.
I really like it.
I liked
think,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
it's good.
Here we go. I'm going to start over again because it's just natural. Ko Kitamura is a 5th grader whose family runs a sporting goods store. One of the regular customers of his family's store is the Tsukishima Batting Center. And so, he gets to know the 4 daughters of the Tsukishima family, which are Ichio, Wakaba, Aoba, and Momiji, very well. Since Ko has spent so much time practicing in their batting cages, he has become a genius hitter, but has no knowledge of any other aspect of baseball. This is in contrast to Aoba, who, despite being a year younger, is an adept pitcher and hitter. Wakaba is a classmate of Ko's, and she seems fully intent on marrying him when she grows up. All seems great in their world, until something happens. The story then skips ahead to 4 years later, as Ko has continued the training he began 4 years ago, but has not played in a real baseball game since. As he finally begins playing again, it remains to be seen whether or not he will live up to the expectations of those who know the true talent he has been hiding all of this time. Cross game.
Bum, bum, bum.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Bill.
He's a Saiyan.
He's a Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
That's his potential.
Let's jump into spoiler-free recommendations. Does anybody want to go first?
I guess I can.
Oh, I was gonna say I can too.
Cross game, I did not know what to expect from it, and it wound up being really delightful. Just a really delightful story so far. I was really upset that we actually wound up ending on a cliffhanger for those of you who are watching, and that wasn't super obvious by our reactions to the end and where we stopped. But yeah, it has a very simple element to it. It's very easy to read, but at the same time, you are invested in what's going to happen. So I really enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed reading it a lot more than I thought that I would. So I would definitely recommend it, especially if you like sports manga and sports anime.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%, and I would not only recommend it to people who are fans of sports manga, I would also recommend it to people who are fans of coming-of-age stories.
Yeah, slice of life stuff.
Slice of life stuff, because it's just as much that as it is a sports manga, and it does a fantastic job at balancing the two and keeping you engaged in both sides of, and both aspects of what it's trying to convey, and both genres that it's trying to explore. And I think it was really good. I wasn't expecting to be as entertained or as touched or as engaged as quickly as I was. And like the art isn't particularly my style, but I still found myself really liking it as I got to know the story and the characters more too. So I do recommend it to anybody who's just looking for a nice slice of life or sports. Just actually anybody looking for a good manga in general, I think should check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cozy, is one word I would use, especially in the anime. That's what I've seen from start to finish, but it's very cozy. But at the same time, it gets you hyped up during its sports build-up moments. That isn't every sports manga and anime, but I would recommend it to anybody. I don't care what you like. I don't care if you like. I got no joke for that. Just read it.
Bill, I was gonna ask you. It looks like you're wearing a cross game jersey.
I forgot to do it in my little introduction. Like, so, it's baseball. It's March Madness. It's your sports month. I wore a baseball jersey.
Yay!
Go O's.
Go
O's.
Go O's.
I also, yeah, good cereal. It is a cereal. Anyways, I highly recommend it. it's a great read. To piggyback off of what everyone has said, it's just really well done in terms of how it tells its story. It's a very relaxing story, but it also has its own energy and it's paced very well. I really like the way the story was told. One thing that I think was done really well was the comedy. It was very subtle, but it made me laugh, but not in a laugh out loud. Like, no, it just felt like a comfortable laughter. Like, oh, this is amusing.
Yeah, it wasn't
yeah.
like outrageous, like nosebleed comedy. Yeah, it was like there were jabs. It was like, yeah,
Yeah.
witty.
It was, yeah. So, like I was saying, I recommend it. So, yeah, go read it if you haven't.
Yeah, so we all recommend it. And there is something very, very important that happens very early on that if you are going to read it, you don't want to be spoiled on. So please, please, please take your leave now. Go and read it. It's a super fast read, the part that we read. And then you can come back and watch this VOD of this right here, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. It goes up immediately after we're done, about 8:39 or so. So let's jump into the spoiler section.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Aoba's God. Yeah. She's perfect.
She got that brain, that baseball brain.
Yeah, she does. She kind of got like the soon, but not too soon. Not in the overly soon way. The annoying soon way.
Yeah, she's not the sort of tsun-tsun where, like, she's overly affectionate and abrasive. That's always what bothers me.
Yeah.
If somebody's like, I actually just hate you, and they stick with that, and I'm like, oh, you guys are gonna like each other later, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we talk about that thing that I said would be a big spoiler?
The thing. Yeah.
The thing.
Yes.
I didn't see.
I
it
want to
coming
cry.
at all.
Go ahead.
I cried real hard. I cried really, really hard because, okay, death scenes are some of my favorite scenes in any media because when they are done well, they are so just moving and so good and everything that I really like in any sort of scene. And so this death scene, but they can also be done horribly wrong and done really bad really easily. This was one of the most touching death scenes of a character that I didn't know that much about, mostly because of the use of, like, the lack of dialogue, just seeing how everybody was reacting to it and how everybody's emotions were happening, just letting it play itself out the way that the mangaka decided to do that, with instead of telling us everything that was happening, just letting the setting and the art and everything kind of tell for itself. And I thought that it just felt really real and it felt really raw and it just hurt, even though I got a feeling that something was gonna happen because I remember the summary. I'd completely forgotten. I think our food is here. I had completely forgotten about the summary until I got to the part where she was talking to Ko about wanting to marry him and that when she gets back they're going to go to the summer festival. And there was just something that hit me that I was like, oh no, something bad is going to happen. And then I remembered the summary and it was like, tragedy strikes. And I was like, oh no, something really is going to oh no. And then it happened, and it still just hurt so badly.
Yeah.
Hey, stop it! And it was just so sad. But hold on, sorry. One of you can take real quick.
To keep going off of that particular scene, or something that I really found interesting or I really liked about it was the fact that the main character didn't react right away.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's chugging his milk.
Yeah, exactly, and it took him time to really realize and grasp what had happened and to know how to react, because I don't know, at that age you don't know how to deal with death. So just seeing him learn the grieving process, it was very heart-wrenching.
It's interesting because I kept wondering why, because I didn't see it coming at all. And when it did happen, I was like, oh my God, that's so sad. But it made so many things earlier make a lot more sense. There was so much focus on specific things about their connection. And like, you know, she made like the list
Yeah.
right? The birthday list and put it on his wall. And we got so many moments where we flashed to that list in like a montage of imagery. And I would be like, that's so weird that we keep flashing to that. Like, I don't know why, it's not like we're going to have another birthday here real quick. But then, eventually I was like, oh my God, the reason that we kept flashing to that was because they won't have another birthday together. Like things like that I thought were really well done, even though they were very, very simple in how they were done. It was almost more powerful that way. Like you were saying, with no dialogue, almost seeming like everything from the death to after the funeral just like flew by in like 2 pages.
Yeah.
And I liked that there's that moment where he just wants to leave, as though nothing's wrong, and his mom doesn't get it, and that's when he finally has that moment to himself, and
Where he's like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to
oh,
react.
I should probably cry now. Yeah.
So sad. Yeah, because like you said, that age, you don't know the concept of death. It's not foreign, and that you don't understand that when people die, they're gone forever. But it is in terms of that you don't necessarily know what you're supposed to do when it happens, because you don't expect it at that young of an age. At all.
I don't know what to do when something like this in an anime happens, or manga in this case. Yeah, I was not expecting this at all. I read a bunch of Adachi's other stuff before I ever watched or read Cross Game, like a bunch of his shorter manga, and like he always kind of had like the same formula where like I kind of expected something going into Cross Game, because in all of his other stuff, it's always like, they're all sports, but it's always one guy who looks exactly like Ko in all of his manga, has a love triangle with either 2 sisters or one of his friends and a girl or 3 other girls, and then they play sports. So it's always kind of the same. I'm not demeaning them in any way, but like they always kind of have the same. So like when I watched Cross Game for the first time, it was like, okay, well, I can see the love triangle forming between Wakaba, Aoba, and Ko. So I'm like, all right, I see what's happening here. And then she dies. I'm like, well, I don't see what's happening here. Nice curveball. No, I didn't intend fun. I was thinking that one since I ate breakfast. I was gonna say that today. But yeah, the huge moment. I highly recommend, even if you don't decide to watch the anime, watch that episode so you can. The insert song they use during the funeral, like, well, if you cried during the manga, you'd probably die. Like yeah, I recommend it. At least even checking the scene out. Well,
You'd probably
all
die.
the music,
I
all the
recommend
music from that show is amazing.
Yeah,
So
I've heard
it's
it's
great.
watch the show as well, but read the manga also.
It's on Hulu, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that scene was just, I don't know. It's not what I was expecting from a sports manga either. And so I guess going into it, I didn't like realize how slice of life it was going to be. But I didn't hate that either. I wasn't turned off by that at all. I think it actually added impact because it could have been like, her death could have felt cheapened in that, oh, now he has motivation to like keep going because she died. He has this promise. And like, he does have that, but they're also just, it doesn't feel cheap. Like his promise to her doesn't feel like a wimpy way for the mangaka to say, oh, now he's going to play baseball. Like it just felt like a very natural occurrence.
I think it's great too, because like he's not the only one who has, like, I don't want to say a promise, but like his perspective isn't the only one you see that from. Like even with Aoba and the other little sister, I forget her name, the little one with the pigtails.
Oh shoot, I don't remember her name either.
The itty bitty one. We know which one that is.
You kind of see it from their perspectives too, and they all have kind of their own memories and motivations that propel off of her death as well. So like it helps to spread it out like a nice jam. But
like a nice jam. Yeah, it helps like you realize that she had such an impact on so many people's lives. That it makes sense that with her dying so young, that people would have promises to her that they would feel not obligated to keep, but like they want to keep them because she was that important to them. Yeah. That was sad.
Yeah, I feel like what we've read so far really has been more coming of age slice of life than baseball. Like baseball has been a constant element, but it hasn't been about baseball, you know? It's almost been like the framework for us to follow this same group of kids and see how they've grown. Like I love even little things like I can't remember the name of the catcher, but
Narita? Is that his name?
Narita
or Akashi?
I think Akashi
The
is
one with like the
with the unibrow and
freckles?
stuff.
Yeah. Who liked
Yeah.
I think yeah, Akashi is his name.
So like I almost feel more connected with him than any of the other characters. And I feel like part of the reason for that is that like he has these weird gaps in what we know about him. Like we wind up just how do I want to say this? It's almost like we're checking in with him every now and then to see how he's changed. And I like that at the beginning, it was just literally all we knew was he's the best fighter in school, right? That's all we knew. And then we started to understand, oh, he also likes Wakaba. And then it was like, oh, you know, like he's the big guy who like really likes the cute girl and, you know, but she likes the main hero and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then we have that tragedy and we get that moment that triggers our hero when he sees Akashi crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And like I just felt like there was so much depth that we weren't able to get out of that character because he wasn't the main character, you know, and he became so interesting to me. And then literally the next time we saw him, it was he doesn't fight anymore. He's a catcher. He plays baseball.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh my gosh, like so much has happened to you. It feels like so much development has happened to you in comparison to all of the other characters. I'm like so fascinated by him. I love him so much.
I love
Even his
character design too.
Yeah.
Bill.
Well, I love all. That's okay. Because I do too. Even like the position he plays, like the catcher is the one that supports the pitcher, and now he's the one supporting Cohen. Yeah, it's a really cool
Yeah, that
circle of development.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and Flashy Kid.
Oh my god.
His name?
I can't stand
Shit.
Flashy Kid.
Senda.
the worst.
Senda?
Senda.
Tsuneki.
Yeah.
Tsuneki.
Or is-
I think it's Tsuneki, right? Whatever. I hate
They-
his guts.
They keep referring to him, yeah, as Sendo or something
awful.
like that. But yeah, he's like he's the worst. Oh my God. But I love that like the old man coach that was being talked down to all the time totally knew what position he would be best at. And the second he was in that position, he was just like
And everybody else
on
was
it.
like, "Oh, hey."
Oh
Oh my god, can we talk about he like cuz he's one of the first characters we see after the time skip.
Yeah.
It's like, who is this kid? I'm like, okay, he's kind of annoying. And then he was so persistently
ramped.
kept
It just
coming
ramped.
back and getting worse. And I was like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And I know why he's there. He's either to be a shortstop and we're gonna all end up loving him maybe eventually, but I was like, get out. I don't want you here for now.
I mean, he gets to be that character who seeks redemption from the audience, right? Like he has this whole storyline up till now where he's just been the worst. And now, the second that he wasn't useful to the first string team, he was kicked out. And now he's being forced to play on like the team with our people.
That's
And I'm
another
like-
thing that I wasn't expecting is the whole like first string versus like pleb string. Like
Pleb string. Can that be what the P stands for now?
that's what I always They called it something else, but I just kept reading it as pleb. I was like, meh.
I'm imagining everybody on first string like dressed up as though they're in a Victorian ballroom. And then there's the pleb string.
Aladdin.
But I wasn't expecting it didn't feel like as sports formulaic really as like because we got to see the start of that underdog team. Because a lot of times it's like, oh, like they've already had some success and now they're like building off of that and like they have other rival schools. But the fact that it was between the first string and the plebe string, like that was really interesting to me to see that happening. And like, I didn't expect the stand-in principal to be so villainous or the coach to be like it was very confusing at first. I was just like, oh wait, is he like evil? Oh, he's kind of a dick. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And just went there a lot faster than I was expecting it to.
I also couldn't stand the manager. Like,
oh my God,
the manager for the
bee.
first string. Yeah.
But the manager for the second string is adorable. She's so cute. When he was like going to punch a wall and she like took his hand and was like, not with your right hand.
He's like,
I was
oh,
like,
like
you cutie. And like, even when assholes come up and are like, hey fatty, she's like, yes.
She just wants
She's
to
like
help.
always nice. Yeah. Yeah, the second that I realized that they intended for the stand-in principal to actually be evil, basically in the context of the story, was there was a moment where he goes, I wanted to take a screen cap and I didn't, but there's a moment where he goes, preying on the weak, my favorite. I was like, what? It seemed so weird to me, but it really drove it home. Like, he's not redeemable. He's awful.
He's like, he is a terrible.
Enjoy.
And then like the coach too. My golly, they're high school kids. Get off.
Or
like,
middle school kids.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
using Aoba to like bring her down or whatever. It's like, get out. You're on my
Well, I
shit
like how
list.
Aoba
Anime
was-
shit list forever.
I like how Alba was smart enough to like keep going just so she can learn all the weaknesses of those batters.
Yeah.
That's why she's
That
God.
was so smart.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's why
Yeah.
she's God, man.
Exactly.
She knew.
Yeah. The he said some other stuff like during that practice game though. One of my favorite things in sports anime, it's like trope that is so cheesy. I love it not just in sports anime and manga, but also just in sports movies and sports TV shows, just everything sports, is this very standard trope that always happens, but it's one of my favorite things, is when the underdog comes out and does some really flashy thing and makes the people who are like judging them and looking down on them for a moment just be like, who are these people? It's my favorite. I love it so much. And it happens when the coach is like, the stand-in principal is like, who are these people on the pleb team? And the stand-in coach is like, just getting angrier and angrier. I was like, yes, feel that rage. Feel it. That's good.
Yeah, because what did the coach been calling them? Slugs?
Slugs.
Or something like that?
Something really rude.
Yeah, something real dumb.
Something real dumb.
It just made me so satisfied. But I want to know how that game ends. Holy crap, guys.
I'm going to read it immediately after we're done. I need to know.
I need to know.
No.
I gotta know.
No. I'm just stuffing myself with fries right now. I'm sorry. Sports anime makes me hungry. Yeah, and that was like, we got to see the real sports part of it, because the first like 2-3 volumes are all about really slice of life. Like, we see the beginnings of the sports genre of it start to pop up with him learning baseball and being taught by the second best fighter in the school, who's his friend, and then Akashi, like seeing them start to play together, and then just seeing them as the three duo. I love it because they're not like your stereotypical trio. They're very different, like both in their character designs and in their personalities and their histories and past with one another. And I love that we got to see their past, because like it just made their relationship just feel that more real and that much more realistic. Because you think about a lot of friendships and how they're formed from the time we see the age we see them at the beginning of the story till where we stopped. Like, you go through friends at that age are just like a lot of times like you move and you shift and you go around. And so the way they ended up together felt very natural, and like the way it was paced felt really nice. And so to see those three really to kind of come out and be the ones to take the first string on, it just makes me really excited. Excited.
And I like how Waka is still a part of their friendship. That in her death, she had cemented whatever rocky relationship would have developed between Ko and Akashi.
Yeah.
I also
she's
like...
still very much a part of the story, even though she's dead.
Yeah, which is nice. Like, it doesn't feel like she's just, oh, okay, they keep referencing back to the dead girl, la-di-da-di-da. It's like, yay, she's still there. Like, she's still a character that we're learning and loving more as we see her, even though she's not physically there anymore.
It's like you were saying, Erin, it doesn't feel like she was a means to an end. It feels like she's an active part of everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
So, and I liked that we had sort of a weird time skip almost. That time went by really fast up to high school, because then it became far more believable that over those, what was it, 3 years?
I don't know, 4. Yeah, 3 or 4.
4 years? That in that time he could have gotten so much stronger if he really was doing those exercises every day and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
For him to be a lot stronger and a lot better, we needed to kind of have that amount of time. And also for us to feel like he wasn't just, I don't know, like he wasn't just getting into baseball just for the heck of it, that he decided he was going to do this thing that's kind of adjacent to baseball, but still wasn't actively going for it. Like he still had to be kind of pulled into that situation and be made part of the team. And I liked that. I liked that it took a lot of time for that to happen.
Yeah. I thought that too while I was reading. I was like, it is really nice that we had that time skip to see how, like, the love for the game started to come to him and, like, just to see him get better. Because there is a lot of growth that happens, like, physically especially, and with practice. Like, having 4 years of practice makes so much more sense than, like, a lot of sports anime or manga where it's like, I practiced this move for a month and all of a sudden I am so much fucking better than you. Ha!
Yeah.
And so that was just, like, really, really good. I really liked that.
One counterpoint to that is I like that there's someone that's stronger than Ko that's immediately to put him in check, because even though he put all this time into working out, he didn't play. So you have Ozma to really put him in his place, to really show what real dedication to the sport leads to in terms of ability.
Yeah. I liked that we had that moment where they were like, is he just a bad underdeveloped pitcher, or is he, you know, does he have the strength to really like take that guy on? And then in the end it was like, no, he's just he doesn't have the, you know, he
doesn't
hasn't
have
been
that
doing this long
experience.
enough. He doesn't have the experience. And I was glad that it didn't turn into he's just a savant. I don't know.
Oh, he's just a prodigy.
Yeah. I'm glad that it turned into, no, he's worked really hard over the last few years. Yeah, he can pitch really well because he's a lot stronger. But this is his first time pitching in a game. He's not going to make no mistakes. That's impossible.
And I like that they start to show his fatigue, too, with that game. Like, they show that he has a lot of fatigue happening with being the only pitcher and, like, taking on that role, but also how he reacts to it. You can tell that he's starting to make more mistakes, but it feels, it's not just like he's going to be able to get through based on stamina alone. And I like that, or enthusiasm alone, I mean. And I like that they, sorry, I just saw your comment in the chat. I like that he goes, listen, I can only focus on control or power. You gotta pick one. And so they're like, okay, guess that's what we gotta do. And they, like, admit to that. It's not just he has this endless amount of stamina or anything like that. And so that just makes it feel that much more like you're watching a kid go from starting to like a sport into practicing and then just getting better and better at it, which is a rarity that you see in sports anime, because you rarely see how they start out, like how really good players come to be. You see where they are in, like, high school, and you see how that, they've gotten there through practice and hard work, but you don't actually see that happening. And so it's really nice to see in a really interesting way too.
For sure.
Let's talk about Aoba. We haven't really talked about her. Aoba. We haven't talked about her in detail. Talk to me about your feelings on her, everybody.
Can I just ask, am I the only one who sometimes got
Yes.
the two of them mixed up.
Yep.
Yes.
Numerous times. I was like,
So many times I was like,
Ko?
oh god, that's
Ko and her?
Aoba.
yeah, Ko and
Yeah,
her.
Ko and
Yeah.
Aoba.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be
Especially
like,
when they
which
have their
one is doing
uniform
what?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're wearing the hat, I was like, which of
They
you
suffer
is which?
They
Yeah.
suffer
Yeah.
from hardcore same face. I don't know. That's something that I guess I don't know if it's a style that the mangaka tends to have, or if that was a stylistic choice, or what it was, or if they just are incapable of drawing another face
Yeah.
that without
Well-
going like super out to Akashi levels of out there,
Two ends.
Little quarters for eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, because all of the side characters have, some good details or at least some weird hair, like Loud Man.
Yeah.
But our
Tsuneki.
two lead characters are just like adorable, cute, plain faces, and I was like,
With the
which
exact
one
same
is it?
haircut.
Yeah, she had like a little duck butt, and that was like it. That was the only difference.
But when you're looking at them from the front, the duck butt doesn't help.
It's true. It's true, mangaka.
Your duck butt doesn't help.
Your duck butt did not help.
It's a bigger duck butt.
More duck
Insufficient
butt.
duck butt.
More
Yeah.
duck butt.
I really like Aoba though.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that she and Ko are so similar, and I think it's really in keeping with her personality to just kind of hate him for almost no reason.
Yeah.
Just sometimes certain types of people, when they meet a person who's very, very similar to them, you just do not get along at all. And I feel like the sort of things that she really hates about Ko are things that are similar to her own personality, and they just frustrate her.
Yeah.
But I like that slowly she's starting to, at the very least, recognize him as possibly being skilled at baseball, which is like her
Yeah.
favorite sport and means a lot.
Yeah.
So even for where they are now, even if they were to never actually become friends, like it means a lot for her to say, you have some skill, and I like that we've slowly progressed to that, and that otherwise nothing has really changed, or she hasn't done anything really out of character. So
Yeah, we've seen her
Yeah.
character be like, we've learned more about her character, but we haven't seen her character like drastically changing or anything like that. Which
I
is
think the
really
whole
fun.
the recognition thing too, I think is also another big part that Wakaba plays in, because like she told her sister like, yo, don't underestimate this fool, he's badass, or he's gonna be badass.
That's actually
Direct
how she
quote.
talks. If you ever read the manga, that is how
In
she
the version I
talks.
read, it was really
Very urban.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
I think
that
he's
she's
great.
not.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I like that she's not just a manager. Like she could have just been
Yes.
relegated to that, but she's actually participating in practices
Yeah.
and just completely destroying the male players and showing that she's just as badass, if not more badass, than everybody else on her team.
Yes.
yeah.
And like she's gotten there through hard work too. Like she does have a natural skill set, but she has worked hard to get to where she is, practicing like every single day. And I agree. I love the fact that we have girls in a sports manga that aren't simply
play the sport and are good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That aren't just there to be the pretty face managers. Like Ace of Diamond, that frustrates me so much. And that like Kuroko's pretty good because Kuroko has doesn't have a lot of female characters, but they play really big roles that aren't necessarily just manager. Like Momoe is the manager, but she also has relationships with the characters and stuff. Whereas in Ace of Diamond, there's like four managers that literally will just come up randomly and be like, let me make you some rice bowls, and they're super cute and super adorable, and obviously they're there, but it just feels like they're there to be the girl
That
managers
person.
and they're just
Yep.
there, and I'm like, oh, they have one other like lady character in that show who's like a recruiter, but other than that, the managers are just these girls that are like, oh, this just makes me really sad.
Prince
So,
of Tennis totally did that too.
yes,
Prince
Prince
of Tennis was
did
like-
that.
Yeah. Or like
Yawapata does that too. So go cross
Sigh.
Graham.
yeah, go cross Graham.
Yeah.
Go pleb team.
Go pleb team. Go team pleb.
Go team.
Pleb team, best team.
Pleb team, best team.
Pleb team, best team. What about you, Bill? What are your thoughts on Aoba?
Oh, I love her. Pretty much what you guys have all said. You know, she doesn't take any shit from anyone, and I think someone mentioned earlier about how her tsundere levels, like she's not whipping the bats around and smashing Ko in the face. You know, he's not like bleeding everywhere or whatever, and then he's fine in another minute. But I think she's just like, she's just fucking sassy. Yeah.
Yes,
she's great.
She's real sassy.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she's sassy.
I loved the humor I really, really like in this. Like, when she goes over to visit and the second his mom shows up, she's like really sweet. And then she leaves and she turns back into a sassy bitch. And Ko is like looking around and she's like, "What are you looking for?" And he's like, "That sweet girl who's here just a minute ago." Like, where did she go?
Like, what happened to her?
I thought stuff like that was clever. It was really funny and in a muted, just fun sort of way.
In a very like, this is a conversation you might have with somebody you actually know, kind of.
Totally.
Yeah, it didn't feel out there, crazy, like you were saying, nose bleeding or anything like that. We did have randomly like her
a couple
skirt.
panty shots.
Yeah, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. They felt a little out of place. It was a little
They felt
weird.
really out of place for like. It was just like, hey, it was like his editor went, you need one panty shot per volume.
Just
Go.
one.
And there's that
Oh,
one
and
like
a shot of a bra.
There's a quota.
Yeah.
Yes.
there's like that one
Some
in
boobs
between
expensive.
where like it shows Alba in like her swimming suit, but like she has like a big shirt under it, but you can see like her bottoms, and it says like "Summer's coming early" or some shit like that, like in between the chapters, and it's like what the fuck?
It felt so dirty.
You know what I did like though? About the part where she like spilled a bunch of shit on her shirt and took it off.
Yeah.
There was like barely even a split second of like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? Before he was just like, don't put that shirt back on. Here's another shirt. Like it was totally like, we've known each other forever. Like
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
gives a shit? And then that dude came in and was like, what?
We also talk about how that dude like took all the credit for stopping that robbery, which
Yeah.
also felt
What
like
the
a
shit?
very weird insert chapter where it's just like they both saw this robbery happening from the train through some curtains in an apartment building across the way, and
Super weird.
I was like, why did this happen? Did it like happen to establish Tsuneki as even more of a tool than I already think he is, or like what happened?
Maybe.
It was quite strange. Or maybe just to show their pitching skills. I don't know.
This is my favorite panel. Hold on. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it
Hold it
works.
still. Hold it still. Okay. Oh.
Sorry about that. It took a while.
Yeah. I love it. I love all the bits of him like being the salesman for his sporting goods store too, like
Yeah.
sprinkled throughout, like with all the, yeah, that's great. Like trying to get people to play lacrosse so they can go to his store and buy his equipment.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, chicks love it. Those 10 easy payments, no interest.
What a little hustler.
You know, but I did like that we had that moment with the second best fighter in the school, and he was like, "Look, you asshole! All these kids, you know, scrimped and saved their allowance to buy stuff from your store, and now we can't even play baseball because we don't have enough people. So what are you gonna do about it?" He's like,
It's like, I don't know. Oh, can we talk about other dickbags in this story?
"Yes, please."
Okay. The number one hitter dude, like, that is
Oh.
on the first string, and he's like, I
Awesome.
only remember the faces of people who leave impressions on me.
Yes,
That guy.
I love that guy.
I just want to see what happens with him.
Well, I mean, you can tell he's going to be that guy who's going to, like... He's another character where we're just waiting for him to acknowledge Ko, right? Or, like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen. Eventually, he's going to be like, that guy.
Basically, he's Vegeta.
He is Vegeta.
He's
No
Vegeta,
wonder you
oh
like
God,
him,
and
Dodger.
Ko is so cool. Not quite as sassy as Vegeta is, but... Yeah, I felt like the second that we overcome one hurdle person-wise, there's a new hurdle person. So like we had Aoba, and now she's like pretty much part of the crew, right? Helping out.
Yeah.
And now we've got this dickhole.
Yeah.
Who's just like, I could hit any ball, all the balls. Give me all the balls. But we did have that moment where he went to the pitcher that he was giving shit to the other time, and he was like, I wanted you to pitch like that.
Yeah. He has
drops
these
the
little
microphone.
moments of, like dropping the mic on people. Like, even to the coach, he was like, he's not going to fall for that. Or he said something about one of the players.
Yeah.
And then the part where most of the time his facial expression doesn't change. It's the same little...
He is dead-faced.
But when it does change, you're like, ooh, he's being interested. So when he finds out that Ko has never pitched in a game before, and he just gets that little smirk, like, oh, you're kidding me. I was like, yeah.
It's actually a love story.
I know. I was like, oh, OTP. I found it.
Yeah.
But no, it's like you can tell when he does get interested, and I want to know. I think of a lot of the characters, he's one of the ones that interests me the most to see where his character goes, because he doesn't seem like a bad guy. He definitely seems like that stereotypical prodigy has only been surrounded by greatness and expects greatness from his opponents and wants to be. He's almost Almine. Like, he's almost Almine. And so, he has a lot of potential there. There's a lot of potential there for his character to, like, happen.
Like the first
I'm
time
so
we meet
trying
him,
not to spoil something.
Ha ha ha! Keep your
hold
mouth.
it in, Lou.
Hold it in,
Bill
Lou.
knows. Bill knows.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like so tempted.
Yes.
I'll behave. I'll be good. I'll be good. I'll just sit here with my beer. I can keep talking.
Are we all drinking?
Yes.
I've
It's like
got
the
nothing,
neighbors
so
pod
let's-
all over again.
Welcome to Cross Game.
Welcome to MangaPod. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else that happened? Let's talk about art. Let's touch on art. What are you guys' thoughts?
I thought the art was really almost too simple at first, and then it grew on me, despite the fact that I couldn't differentiate two of the major faces in the story.
Yeah.
I did wind up appreciating the art just because it was really clean. It was simple, but it was really clean.
Mm-hmm.
When they played baseball, I knew what was going on. So, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, it seemed like the most detail happened when they played baseball, which I can really appreciate. Like I said earlier, the art wasn't necessarily a style that I really like. Like, it definitely felt really simple, but it didn't feel like it was completely... Sorry, if you guys saw what I was seeing with Derp right now, it's pretty... He's just leaning back going... just staring at... But, like, it's the same thing with the fact of how slice of life and sports it is, how it balances those two genres. It also balances those two art styles really well and complements each other rather than detracts from one another. And so, when it goes from slice of life into, like, the sports game, especially because we didn't get to see too much of it yet, but what we did get to see, the players running or they're playing, like, going after the ball or hitting, it felt very much like a really good sports manga, like very much like similar to Ace of Diamond kind of style, where it just let the scenes and the action play for itself. And I loved that, and I really liked that. But I did have issues with a lot of the characters looking too similar and like the simplicity sometimes. But it was like it was a good balance of both in the end, I think. So.
Yeah. It is very simple. And that's kind of like his style. Like, they all kind of look monkeyish in a way. Like,
Yeah.
or some characters look very like chimpish. Like, they're all Curious George. But yeah, like I said, the sports scenes are like, the panels are really detailed. And like when they pitch and stuff and hit and everything, like it's not as clean as a slice of life parts. I don't know if it's done on that on purpose or if he's just like, oh, I got to draw it this way because it's a sports scene, or if there's like some kind of point of emphasis there or something. But yeah, they're very monkeyish. But
Yeah.
I like how the mangaka would add in little bits of saying, hey, it's kind of a bitch to get to 18 pages.
Yeah.
But yeah, the art I thought was well done for what it was trying to accomplish, but would be
Mm-hmm.
totally unacceptable if it was in any other series.
I would love to see Adachi do like a mech show and see what it looks like. Because up till now, this is the only type of story he's done. So I guess he's been able to get away with it. But I would love to see him do something out of his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
It's a very like it felt very 90s too.
Yeah, and I think that's like might be because like he's used the same style since like the late 80s. Whenever the hell Touch or H2 came out, like it's exactly the same art style, only they don't have like that 80s anime hair that Amuro has in Gundam, where
Yeah.
it's like kind of curly and they have like a straight bang. Instead they have modern anime hair. Only it looks very, very like retro in
Yeah.
its design.
Replaced by Drumbot in the chat is saying that the art reminded them of Peanuts, and I can totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I can see
And
that.
also the way the characters interacted with each other was very quick and witty banter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree.
I
That's
love
true. That's a good
the
point.
interaction between Ko and I forget the smoldering batter's name. When like he's on his way to class and he just runs past him, and then like he's late, and then he like does like the base slide into the classroom so that he's on
Yes.
time. I love that panel. That's probably my favorite panel
And the
out of
other
what we've
guy,
read
like,
so far.
the other guy comes in and is just like, oh, he's listed as special.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't. I was like, what? What is his name? Azuma? His name is
It's
Azuma.
Azuma.
Yeah. Sorry, I have dog hair all over me now, so I'm just like. All right, let's wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings, unless anybody else has something they would like to touch on. Everybody good?
I just spilled Coke everywhere.
I was wondering
Okay.
what you were doing, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, I was watching. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I think she
So, like-
spilled something.
Always.
Roger.
Always. I think
Anyway.
it's become a tradition.
That's my final thoughts and ratings. I spilled
Cross
a thing.
game.
10 out of
Cross
10.
Spilled
game.
Coke
I
out of 10.
spilled something.
Because it was so awesome. Hey.
Hey, I got so excited that I spilled. Yeah, I absolutely loved what we read. I loved the slice of life parts of it. I loved the sports part of it. I loved how they complemented one another. I thought the art suited a lot of it, even though I had issues with how simplistic it was most of the time, and the fact that I couldn't tell the two main characters apart, which is kind of an issue a lot of the time. But I think it did so much right that it's really hard for me to find a fault with it. And I think it was just there was stuff that we read that was beautiful. There was stuff that we read that was really witty and clever. And there was stuff that we read that was really exciting and interesting. And I just can't wait to read more and find out what happens more. And I think what we read was just a really well done coming of age sports manga. And so I think because of that, I'm going to give it an 8.7. Yep, that's my rating, 8.7.
All right, Dodger, are we
Nice.
sticking with spilt Coke out of 10, or can I go?
You can go.
Okay, just checking. I've seen the anime, so I know where it's going. But based off of what we've read so far, I'm gonna give it an 8 because I know it has room to grow and room to eventually get to that 10 out of 10. It's not there yet. The art is simplistic, but it complements the style of the manga, and I could really appreciate that. Apart from that, I just found all the characters to be really enjoyable to watch. Their interactions were just a joy from start to finish. So yeah, definitely 8 out of 10, but expecting it to hit that 10 out of 10 by the end of it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Bill,
Bill
you
got
wanna
that
go
face.
last?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go last since it's your favorite. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 just because that feels right. I was trying to think like 8.5. I think I want to give it a 7.5, not because it did anything wrong, but because I feel like it's ramping up to something really great. And right now it feels like while a lot of important stuff happened, it feels like we've been laying the brickwork for, what the actual meat of this story is. So I would say 7.5 with the obvious expectation for it to blossom and become something super, super cool. But what we did read, I enjoyed a lot. I thought that the characters were very charming. And like all of us have said, what we read so far here was definitely more of a coming of age story than a story about baseball, which I appreciated and I really liked. So I would absolutely recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah, like they said, it's only fair to really kind of, because I've seen the whole anime as well, and it is my favorite. But like, if I was to rate it, like, I'm a new guy, I just got home and I'm reading Cross Game for the first time, up to volume 4, I don't know what chapter it is. Yeah, probably about an 8.5 of what we've read so far. I was trying to figure out the
Fonzie out of 10.
Yeah. What?
Fonzie out of 10.
Oh.
Hey. Out of 10.
But yeah, because I think, like you guys said, like it is laying down the brickwork, because it is a long series in both of its forms, and it is a slow burner too. So like, it takes a while because they let you in, and they let you see them grow rather than just, here, let me just whip you by your head and throw you in the story, and then we'll take you at breakneck speed. So like, it really just guides you through at a really nice pace. So right now it is just laying down the brickwork, but 10 out of 10 for the anime though, and the whole series. And I think everybody should check out the whole thing, whether it's the anime. I highly recommend everybody, whether you do it like a follow-up episode or you just do it on your own time, definitely read the rest or watch it or do whatever you have to do to see it through to its ending, because it bookends really well, and there's a reason it's my favorite.
Awesome.
I second what Bill said. Anime is 10 out of 10.
Oh.
I'm sure the manga is a 10 out of 10 too. But
Top 5 sports series for me.
I need to watch. Top 5, really? Ooh.
Top 5.
It'll probably be mine then too, since we have pretty similar.
Cross Game anime isn't on Crunchyroll.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Oh.
Awesome. Well, there we go. We wrap up our discussion on Cross Game. We all highly recommend it. I think you should definitely go and check it out for sure. I know that I'll be reading more of it and also going to check out the anime for sure. Let's go ahead and read the description for the sports manga that we will be reading next week. Y'all in chat have to guess what it is, because we are just sly like that. All right. Ishido Natsuo is a gifted girl who can achieve anything she wants in sports. Because of this, she is permanently bored, as there aren't any real challenges to her abilities to make her feel alive. One day, she receives an invitation to marry... Oh, whoops.
Yep.
Okay.
Go on.
One day, she receives an invitation of a marry girl to join her martial arts club. I read that as to marry a girl, and I was like, what? This is not where I was expecting.
This is a different thing than I
Did
expected.
Glenn write this?
Irritated by her happy expression, Natsuo decides to accept the invitation just as a pretext to beat her up, but she receives a shocking surprise. There it is. It's about girls marrying each other in sports.
Yeah, doing martial
10 out of
arts and
10.
marrying each other.
Martial arts.
10 out of 10.
11 out of 15. Is it Attack on Titan? No.
Yep, you got it. That's it.
No, but
By the way, I could not find Cross Game on Hulu, so
Uh-oh.
it was totally on there.
so
Wait, what?
so poops to everybody.
Did you
Hold
spell
on.
it
I'm
right?
gonna check Viz Media. It should
How
be
did,
on
how
there.
did I spell it wrong?
Oh yeah, right. There's just a bunch of errors, error in baseball
Everybody's-
game results.
Everybody's saying Tepu.
Yay! Y'all got
Yeah.
it. Wee, Tepu. Yes, we
It's
are
Tower of
reading-
God. That's it.
Yep, it's definitely Tower of God. We are reading Tepu chapters 1 through 14 with one of my lovely favorite people in the entire world, 42 Believer, aka Sarah. She will be joining us next week. I'm so excited to have her on. She'll be great. So, yeah, I am really sad that Cross Game is no longer on Hulu.
Yeah, that
I mean,
sucks.
there's a bunch of baseball errors.
Yeah, I typed in cross game and it's just like sports replays, and I was like,
Oh, and Soul Calibur 3.
oh, phew, thank goodness.
Thank God that's there. All right, let's go ahead and shout out our stuff super duper fast, and then we'll say goodbye. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. You're here on my YouTube channel. I do anime reviews and anime first impressions, as well as random unboxing videos and tag videos and mental health awareness videos and all sorts of fun things, as well as all the previous MangaPods are hosted here on my channel. If you'd like to find me on any other social media site, I'm HappiLeeErin all across the everything. Come tweet at me and ask me stuff on AskFM, and I'll answer with really dumb gifs. That's me.
Beautiful. Hi guys, I'm Dodger. I'm primarily at youtube.com/press to continue, where I do gaming and anime gaming and whatever. weird dumb stuff. If that sounds like your jam, come hang out. And on all the social medias, I'm at Dexbonus, DEXBONUS, and I have been keeping my hummingbird up to date. I know. Every time I watch anime, I just keep the hummingbird tab open. Makes it really easy.
That's smart. That is very smart.
Yeah, you think I'm smart?
I think you're smart.
Hey.
I think
Hey.
you're smart, girl.
Hey, you think I'm
Hey,
smart?
girl. Hey, girl, I think you're smart. You want some chowder?
You want some cheating? We have the worst Boston accents maybe ever.
Hey,
Hey.
what are you doing? Hey,
Hey, what you doing over there? Hey.
want some chowder?
Anyway.
Anyway, I love you, Boston. You were great. Luke?
I want some chowder. What's up, guys? My name is Lou, and I'm from Sitting by the Window Anime Reviews. And sometimes I make videos, usually having to do with anime. Sometimes they're also really dumb. They don't have anime bullshit when they are really dumb, like Dodgers. Actually, they do, but whatever. I'm by Windows, kind of, sometimes. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at SBTW Anime Reviews. Links in the description because I'm too lazy to spell them out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And our lovely guest, Bill, who was fantastic.
Woo, Bill!
Oh, Bill! Yeah! Woo, Bill!
This is great. That was great. It's a highlight.
Bill out of 10, which is better than 10 out of 10.
A bill out of 10 is just a A.
Hey!
Yeah, I was Bill. I am Bill. I'm still Bill. You can find me on YouTube. I do anime videos, video game videos whenever I get around to it. It's youtube.com/thepepperedham. The link will be in the description. You can also find me on Twitter at Frozen Hogurt, which the hoagie and yogurt all rolled into one. I change it every month though, so by the time you watch this, maybe it'll be different.
Yeah, the one that's in the description right now is different.
Dun dun dun. Is this still the Russian guy?
Yeah, you told me to leave
Yeah.
it, so I left it.
Nice.
I'm adding in your actual
That's-
one right now, though.
You keep the Russian guy in there though.
Oh, no, Russian guy will stay. I'm just adding in the real one as well.
He needs some
Russian
love,
guy
too.
is too deep.
He seems very sad. Yeah, he needs a pat in the back. I'm also on the Permanent Podcast, which is the gaming podcast I run with a future guest of the MangaPod, Bizarre Jelly 5. And that is at youtube.com/Permanent Podcast. And that is very fun as well. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you
thanks
for
for being
coming
here, Bill.
on. We love having you. You're always so great.
Bill is best.
Bill is best.
Oh, I'm on Hummingbird too, Peppered Ham. I'm on that thing too.
Yeah. I don't think I follow you, Bill. What the fuck?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Pepper,
find
is that
your ass.
peppered ham?
Yeah, just Peppered
Find your
Ham.
ass.
Find your ass.
Are you a blonde American
Bill,
male?
blonde American male.
Okay,
Blonde American Male, yeah.
Good.
That is my subtitle.
Follow. Perfect.
Yeah, you can also follow me on Hummingbird. I haven't updated it in a while because I haven't watched. I'm really sad. I haven't watched too much anime lately. It makes me really upset.
Erin.
It's okay, Aaron. I haven't watched much either.
It's really sad. I've been watching Supernatural. Got sucked into Supernat. Catching up.
Oh, no, Erin.
I know. I need to watch things. I haven't even watched the latest Kuroko episode, but I was also out of town, so I need to watch that. But yes, thank you all so much for watching our manga pod on Cross Game. We really enjoyed you viewing in the chat and also in the comment section. All the viewers that are watching the VOD of this, you're all wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you're having a wonderful anime-filled day. And we will be here same time, same place next week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on this channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. We will be discussing Teppu chapters 1 through 14 with our special guest, Sarah of 42 Believer, and we hope that you join us then. Once again, Bill, thank you so much for coming on. We love you, and we can't wait to have you back sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill.
Bye.
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 I don't have anything clever to say this time. So.
Bill.
Yeah, that works. Bill.
Bill.
No, this science.
Bill.